folks. It is our regular Wednesday night broadcast of I-12GIA, Real Talk with Real People, the voice of experience. You are with us on March 19th, 2025. It's now 8 p.m., so we're going to get fired off here in just a few minutes. Usual disclaimers, this is an R-rated show, so kind of keep your kids and those with delicate sensibilities in other rooms because there is bad language and loud noises and explosions and cursing, and there may be some nudity and all that other fun stuff.
Trigger
warnings.
warnings.
Trigger warnings. Yeah, we got. Oh yeah, there's a flashing light warning back there too. You might want to worry about if you have epilepsy and so forth.
If you have epilepsy, tune out.
Yeah. Don't just listen. Don't watch. So we have a kind of an interesting lineup tonight. We're going to talk about the Biden pardons and the auto pins, and we're going to talk about just a whole assortment of things. It's kind of a mishmash. And then we have a special training segment that the specialist is going to run about 5 minutes or so at the end of the show, which should be scintillating. It's going to get your attention. But anyway, all right. Speaking of specialists, why don't you go ahead and start us off there, buddy?
All right. I'm going to start about. I heard today. I heard him on the TV. Tampon Tim. He ran for vice president with Camel Toe. Listen, he was so proud of the fact that he had on this cell phone, this program that showed him what stocks were doing, and his prize stock was Tesla. And Tesla was down to like $225 a share, you know? And as somebody that has a pension was fought very hard for all the years when I was in the union to stop Congress from stealing our pensions. That boob wasn't even smart enough to realize that over 2/3 of Minnesota's pension funds are tied up in Tesla stock. And here he is like having an orgasm over the fact that Tesla stock is like down to just a little over $200.
No, geez.
Oh, let's not stop with Tampon Tim. Let's, they just arrested this thing tonight. I call it a thing because, we can't get kicked off for voicing our personal opinions, can we?
Well, no, as long as it's not. As long as you're not comparing them to toilet brushes or anything, or whatever.
Okay, no, name. I'm not. In fact, I was very nice about this one.
There he is.
No, it wasn't. I wasn't comparing anything to a toilet brush. Don't worry about it. But
Hello.
Hello. Is anybody home
What's
in
up,
there,
buddy?
The wheel is turning, but the hamster's dead. Hey, buddy, how you doing, brother? You good?
Good. How you doing?
I cut my own hair to save money.
Nice.
Glad you're here. I was hoping you'd be here.
Yeah, he's going to talk about underwear tonight. So
I'm gun commando, buddy.
Yeah.
Once you're one, you never stop being one, buddy.
Yeah. There you have it.
This from Captain Underpants. But anyway, right?
Yeah. I don't know what he's doing. Are you doing something there, buddy, or do we need to move on? Or
no, I'm looking for something, and I'm looking for a picture.
Okay.
He'll be looking for.
I just got to access my.
So there's a lot of these municipalities have invested, especially in Tesla. So I agree. I think it's strange that our Democrat friends are celebrating the stocks coming down for Tesla, when a lot of people that voted for them have money invested in that through their pensions. Mm-hmm. So, show me the logic. I can't wrap my head around it.
Why would they do that though?
I have a theory. I joined the conversation late, so hello everybody. Forgot about it. Literally, I was on the phone. What happened? I think it's a reversal of and an endorsement of what everybody else who's not been a Democrat has said it. Green energy doesn't work. You can't power a battleship. You can't go to the moon on green energy. So what's happened is the chickens have come home to roost. So a lot of the big donors that were there They donated to green energy because it's a tax write-off, not interested in trying to save humanity. They're saving bucks. So, ironically, Tesla, the origins of Tesla are very interesting. The name obviously from the Serbian guy, who died penniless, unfortunately, because Edison stole all his shit off him. Who happened to be a Democrat, or the Whigs when they went back to that. But that's neither here nor there. But with the stock prices coming down, it creates a new base for the Democrats, and that's what it's got. It's got a rallying point. It's not about who it's involved. It's about having something in common now. They discovered that the anti-Israeli stuff hasn't worked. Wokeness hasn't worked. So when you have Tesla now literally in flames, you've got something everybody agrees on, and that all you need is one singular point of gravity to bring things around. And from that point, you've got a base that you can work from. And that's what's going on. It's nothing to do with Elon Musk. It's more about them saving and having some common cause. Because right now, they're seeds in the wind. They've got nothing going for them. Nothing going for them.
See, I would respectfully disagree that it has nothing to do with Elon Musk, because right now that man has done nothing but good. And
absolutely,
they are just hammering the living shit out of him, like Scott Kelly, an astronaut, a fucking embarrassment to humanity. Him and his twin brother Mark, okay,
and his wife Gabby Gifford.
Yeah, okay, yeah, brain dead, okay, yeah, she's fucking brain dead. But anyway, last night he says, I want to debunk something that I heard on the 5 before it came on the air, that Elon Musk was going to rescue the astronauts and Joe Biden turned it down and left them stranded there. That wasn't the case. That was a mission critical and they had to remain there. Well, one of the astronauts actually had come on the air while he was still up on the fucking space station and said, hey, they abandoned us up here. Nobody come to get us, We wanted out. Biden said no, And so I've been fighting all day with people on Facebook about judicial activism, okay? So Elon Musk, Donald Trump, okay? Trump won the White House. Now, some guy was splitting hairs with me. I'll tell you how bad it is. I'll tell you how bad the left is. Some pubic hair was splitting hairs with me because I said Trump won 49.8% of the vote over 77 million people. I goes, if you want to push 77 million people's buttons, if they react to it, you better be prepared for the fallout. He goes, yeah, well, that means 50.2% voted for the other party. So, like, are you kidding me, you fucking retard? But anyway, that being said, the Republicans get the White House, they get the House, and they get the Senate. And the Democrats can't handle it. They got no mechanism. So what they want to do is obstruct Trump, just like so they can't do Russia anymore. That ain't going to work. So now what they're doing is judicial activism. They're using the courts with all these Democrat-appointed judges that actually have no authority to tie up the executive branch. They're going to tie up the executive branch and tie up Trump's fucking agenda. And before you know it, 2028 will be here, and fucking Gavin Newsom might be the next occupant of the White House, and we'll be back to fucking Green New fucking deals and fucking AOC bouncing upside down like a fucking chicken McNugget and everything else.
All right.
You could have summed that up. Sorry, but judicial filibuster is what you're talking about.
Judicial activism.
Filibuster.
So a couple of things. We kind of were all over the place on that one. Nomad, on something that you said, I definitely want to comment on. The green energy, it's a myth. It's no good. Now, I can tell you this. I know for a fact today, I was pretty windy where I was, and I'm not going to say where I was, but I was in an area where up on the mountaintops, they put these beautiful things. The windmills. Right, the windmills for.
Hey, we lost him. Where is he?
I see that. I don't know. Oh, he's back.
He's
There
back.
he is. kind of.
So,
There you go.
Hey,
We gotcha.
Wendy, where were you at Taco Bell?
He was at McDonald's getting some bouncing chicken McNuggets that look
Yeah.
like AOC.
I happen to like AOC's bouncing chicken McNuggets, but that's another thing.
You know, a lot
Da-da-da-da-da.
a lot of people do actually. So she does have a pretty nice set, but you know, you got to admit.
Yeah.
I'm just going to say, what is a woman? Okay, moving on.
Sorry.
It's okay. It's okay. So, not to give away the location I was though, but there were mountains with those windmills that we just had to have for energy, right? And it was pretty windy. It was pretty windy. At least it on the road. Okay, and looking up, none of them were spinning. Can't figure it out, right? None of them were working. So to me, this is a farce. Okay, if it was actually working, we would see evidence of that, right? And we don't. So that's that green news scam. Coming back and touching base on what the specialist said, yes, you know, these activist judges, that is an absolute real thing, okay? And I'm pretty sure Judge Boasberg did not get 77.3 million votes. So with a swing of his gavel, why does he get to choose policy? That makes no sense, right? This is literally the breakdown of the government. We knew this was going to happen, right? The Democrats were stomping their feet. They were pissed off that this election was too big to rig. Okay, that we're like, I just want to back up for a second, right? You guys were all public servants, or are still all public
Hey,
servants.
can I interrupt you for a minute? Don't lose your
No,
train of
no,
thought.
no. Hold on. I'm going to lose it. What public official would keep a terrorist organization members, gang members that have raped and murdered people here rather than keep them on a plane for deportation? Who does that? Can anybody tell me that?
A judge who's here's my point I was going to make. A judge whose wife gave $10,000 to Hillary Clinton's campaign and whose daughter works for a law firm that is defending all these people that they're putting on aircraft and sending out of the country. That's who.
Oh, follow the
Yep.
money. Follow
Follow
the
the
money.
money.
If you follow, well, so that's okay. Now that comes back to our original topic on why they're pissed off at Elon, because he followed the money. He's still following the money, and he's showing us. Remember when Trump first was going to run for president? What did he do? He basically came out and said, "Yeah, this is what's going on. This is how the government cheats you, right?" And Dave Chappelle did a fantastic skit on it. Here's what we're doing behind closed doors. I want you to know that, and I'm going to go back to do this so we can blow the lid off it, right? This is why they're mad at Elon. He's blowing the lid off of all of this. Look at where all the money is going, right? And are we seeing protests about it? No. In fact, what we're seeing is the left eat itself apart by, well, now we're going to go ahead and draw swastikas on Cybertrucks and Teslas. There are literally Democrats, right? These people that voted for Joe and that voted for Kamala, driving their electric vehicles, and their fellow Democrats are throwing stuff at them. It's hysterical to see, but it's sad at the same point because this is what our country has become. This is where we're at. They're not looking out for the citizens, and we as the populace do not make good decisions, right? That government has been a racket for years, and we've done nothing about it. So this is the fruits of that labor is what we're seeing here.
I agree.
Yep, without a doubt.
I think it's a waste of time.
Let me get back to one thing that the professor just mentioned. So they arrested a woman tonight for burning a Tesla dealership. I wish I had a picture, but if that's a woman, then I'm a giraffe with a 24-inch dick. But anyway, here's my point on this. They're shooting into Teslas, right? And they're lighting them on fire. and they're doing. God forbid there's a woman or a dog or a cat, an animal in one of these cars that they're doing this to. Where do you draw the line?
Mm.
Can
You know,
Yeah, go ahead.
can I change the conversation? Can I change it a little bit?
Go ahead, Ahmed.
You've had a rebranding of the criminal justice system in this country since Trump came in. The Trump we have now, the 2.0 version, is not the Trump that was the first version. He was naive. He was a dreamer in some ways. He was patriotic, always has been. He was doing his homework. His legal team have been doing their homework on every single thing he's been doing, has been prepared for in the last 6-7 months. He's had every legal argument to counter what's going to come from the other side so he can carry out these things in the first 100 days. Look at the speed things are going. Every day, these guys get hit in the face with something new. They can't deal with it. They're falling back. Now, we had a discussion last year, and I remember saying this to a couple of you guys, and I remember we talked about in other programs, where the rebranding of domestic terrorism and HVEs, homegrown violent extremists, is about to turn to the European model, which it now has. A criminal enterprise. The head of the Crips today is on the run from Los Angeles or San Francisco or some fucking where, right? He's a fugitive right on the go. But they got him on a RICO case, right? But basically what's happening is, if you have domestic terrorism, Trump has rebranded gangs as domestic terrorists. So guess what's happened? A gang is a domestic terrorist, which means if you're an immigrant, like I was once, right? And if I had done something wrong, I could be thrown out under that same rule of law. A lot of the green card holders could be in a bad spot. Secondly, what he's doing to the international elements of organized crime, he's going to turn domestically using the new Koresh guy in the FBI. He's going to turn in the inner cities and carve out a whole new voting base for the Republicans, because whether you're low income, high income, upper class, or whatever you want to call it, crime affects you on your doorstep. It affects you. You can't put your kids on a bus. You can't go through school or get a metal detector. We have stuff that's going to be always with us. But what I'm coming to is that he's rebranded the terminology that's been shoved down our throats for the last 25 years. And people are sick and tired of it. So what the professor says is correct, specialists say is correct, because what's happening is he's rebranding what American justice is. So the sentences are going to have it, and the judicial, every judge on both sides, Republican and Democrat, is a political appointee. There's no way around it. They do it. So you have to basically admit to the fact is that whatever side you're on, you're going to have your people in to stymie the other side. So now what we're left with is this. The thing that gets people's most attention is not having enough money in their pocket. Price of food, eggs went up, chickens came down. People can't fill a tank of gas because a tank of gas under Biden was $10 more than it was as in the last 4 weeks. It's come down $2 almost in some parts of the country. So he's hitting people. He's getting people's attention by the fact that every day something's happening, and every day he's using what the Democrats have put out there against him. So he's basically rebranding the language of politics in this country. So we're going to see the benefits. This won't be seen for maybe another generation, but the generations coming up now, the kids that are finishing high school this summer, their first experience of voting is going to be Donald Trump. Do you see what I'm saying? It's not going to be the guys of our age group. It's going to be the kids who are coming in, will have their first real job, will go to college, and they can go to college and they can be anything they want. And they can have a normal life like their grandparents had. Not their parents, their grandparents. What the grandparents had is what these kids are going to have right now. So that's the beauty of what's going on right now. Just a point.
I got 2 points, if I could.
Point. Yeah, go right ahead, buddy.
So, I went food shopping yesterday. Going down the dairy aisle, there's a big sign on the egg carton phrase that limit 2 dozen eggs because of the egg shortage. And they're still $5 a dozen. So the price of eggs has not come down. That's number one. Number two, anybody know who Charlie Kirk is?
Yes.
Yeah.
Do you consider him respectable, and does he have any credibility?
Yes, he does.
He's okay, yeah. He's all right.
No, he's just
Yes,
up
he
on
does.
news. He said the Democrat base is out for blood and they're winning. I rest my case.
I would agree. I wouldn't
Democrats,
agree with
Yeah,
that.
I wouldn't agree with that
Democrats
either.
had no other place to go but to the courts, and all these Democrat judges are jumping in and stopping. They're slowing and stopping the Trump agenda, and it's going to take 2 or 3 years to get through the fucking court system. Here we are in 2028, and it's a done deal.
Well, I mean, with all due fairness, though, I mean, he kept the flights going, right?
Yeah.
He didn't halt
Okay,
them.
so why is that boob with the green card that Marco Rubio revoked still sitting in the fucking jail in Louisiana, United States? Why?
Are we talking? Are we
Why
talking
isn't
about?
he back in that
Are we talking about
fucking
one
third world
person?
country
Are
where
we,
he was fucking hatched?
are we talking about one person, or are we talking about
I'm
the
talking
mass
about one person,
deportation?
but one's going to turn into 1,000.
Well, I would say this: we've how many flights have we had so far? Have we tracked that? Right,
I
we've
haven't.
had quite a few, right? So that's more that's happened within the last 4 years, right? I would say this. I think I don't know for a fact because I don't have any sources that are telling me otherwise, but I think Trump's doing this. Launch the planes. That's just me. That's I think that's what he's doing. Because I mean, look, how many orders did Biden defy? And again, in his defense, he really had no idea what he was doing, so I can't hold it against him personally, right? He wasn't all there. I think the old EMS thing is person, place, time, and events, right? A&O times 4. He was somewhere on the 1 to 2 scale, so we can't hold that against him. So yeah, I'm curious. I think Trump's going to do the same thing and ignore it. I mean, what are they going to do? Roll the FBI up on him? Can't. So I think he's just going to continue getting him out of here. Why? 77 million of us said to do it. So at some point, right, the Democrats have
But
to call
according
it.
to the Democrats, that's only 49.8%. 50.2% didn't vote for him.
Okay. Here's the question. Do you feel safer now in America since January 20th?
Do I?
Do you feel safer now in America since Trump became president?
My honest opinion, I do, but we're not out of the woods.
Agreed. But we are better
I
than we
agree with
were.
that.
Yeah. We are better.
I do agree with you. We are safer, but we are by no stretch. We can't even see the wood line. Okay, as far as I'm concerned.
I would agree with that.
As long as the
we're good on that.
Democrats got a pulse or a heartbeat, we're not out of the woods.
Yeah,
Well-
Sam Adams has a good point. District Court Kings now. Yeah, that's what they're trying to do, right? And what did Caroline Levitt say? Is it 62% of injunctions this century have been against Donald Trump?
You heard it today. All right, yeah.
Yep. That's mind blowing. And then this is I mean, we've been talking about this for years, right? So when we had 8 years of Barack Obama, I could tell you this: my health insurance was not perfect when he took office, but it was 100 times better than what it is right now. He completely destroyed the system, right? And remember, let's not forget, because we as Americans tend to forget: if you like your doctor, you can keep your doctor. We're not going to have death panels. We're not going to force you to do anything. All that shit was wrong, and that absolutely happens. Now, I have to pay a premium for insurance that doesn't really cover anything up until I hit $18,000. Okay, but if I don't pay that absurd premium, then
You get
I'm going to be in
penalized by
trouble
the
with the
IRS.
government.
Yeah.
I'm going to get fined, right?
Yep.
So we had 8 years of Barack Obama, and what did the Republicans do? Not a fraction of what the Democrats did Trump's first time around. Look, I remember Nancy Pelosi saying before Trump was even sworn in the first time, well, we just don't know if he's going to give up power peacefully. What are you talking about? He hasn't even been sworn in yet. His presidency hasn't even started. What are you talking about? And it was impeachment, right? Threat to democracy. Blah,
we're
blah,
talking
blah,
around the
blah.
same points. That's what we're doing.
You know?
We're respectfully, we're talking around the same points, because what's happening is we have just entered another era, and it's brand new. This is brand new. Some people who never voted before, but voted for Trump for the first time, voted forever. very
Mhm.
first time they voted for Trump. So their experience is going to be mirrored and influenced by what they see. And so far, he's a man of action, and that's what counts. Listen, respectfully, I'm going to get myself in so much trouble for saying this, but I'm going to say it, right. The last 5 or 6 elections have all been about the continuation of the gravy train.
Yep.
And I mean that benefits
Yep.
to everybody, including those that served. There's a
Mhm.
lot of vets do not deserve benefits that they have. There's a lot of people are getting food stamps that do not deserve what they've got. There's a lot of people that are in a bad way, have no way to get what they've got. So, but they buy a voting block by continuing the voting board.
Mhm.
What's happened, particularly in the inner cities, that Trump tapped into, Brown went against Brown. I say it as it is.
Mhm.
Immigrants went against the other minorities in this country. And when you're competing for the same food stamp and Section 8 housing, you got someone's fucking attention. And
Mhm.
that's what happened. So all the bullshit that was put down by the Democrats about caring for people, it didn't matter a damn. You only cared for them on election day, right?
Right.
So, you remember Hillary Clinton? I'm so tired of being sick and tired. She had that damn thing down like that accent, that southern drawl. I can't even speak English, so what am I even saying? But what I'm telling you this is, right, shut up there, right? But the bottom line is, votes have been always bought with benefits. That's not like it is in any other country. It is in the tin pot republics, but there's a lot of vets don't have any benefits because they're stolen by guys who are. There's another form of disrespect and dishonor to vets as guys who are claiming stuff they're not entitled to. Every conversation I hear amongst vets, everyone, I'm hearing this now. I'm getting myself in trouble for saying this. I don't have VA benefits. I don't have a problem with that. I came in not having it, not expecting it, so I have no problems with that. I preface it with that. But all I hear about vets is how they're going to get to that 100%
Mhm.
after doing the minimum 3 years. How dare you even put the uniform on in the first place? You know, I tell you, right? If you right now, I'm on workman's comp, okay? So I'm losing 1/3 of my wages is gone every 2 weeks, and I have to wait for the government to figure out what they're going to give me. But if I was one of the gravy train, I could go anywhere I want and get what I want at any time. So the bottom line is that it depends on where you are in the food chain and in your circumstance. But we have an opportunity with Trump that I hope that the Republicans are starting to line up somebody else to take over from Trump. I hope it's Vance, but they need to start getting the successor ready right now because the specialist is right. They're coming for us. They are coming for us, and they're going to come hard and heavy, and it's going to be dirty. It's going to be a dirty battle in the next election. Real
Absolutely.
dirty. Real dirty.
I
Thank you,
got.
All
I,
fellas.
right.
I, I do got to say one thing though. You know what? Here's the difference between us and them. We're rational people. Sam Adams took 10 years to get his VA rating. I don't doubt that, brother. I'm sorry that happened here. But let me say this: there's a difference between us and them because
There
as
is. There is.
hardcore conservative as I am, I'll give credit where credit is due. Like, I'll be the first to admit Ronald Reagan took away my Social Security benefits because I had a public pension.
Mm-hmm.
Joe Biden restored them.
Mm-hmm.
So, do I feel indebted to Joe Biden? Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Because he signed the bill giving me back what I had before Ronald Reagan took it away from me.
Correct.
He allegedly signed it. It could have been the auto pen.
Which is, yeah, this is,
Congress passed it.
yeah, which is a great segue into the next segment. So let's go ahead and
Congress
take a,
passed it.
let's
Okay.
go ahead and
Could have
take,
been the auto
are
pen.
you done?
But
Let's go ahead and take as I was saying, it's a great segue into the next segment after.
I'm taking a victory lap and I'm giving Joe Biden credit. You know,
Okay, great.
his
Are
feet
you
may have
done?
gone through the beach here into the sand.
Would you shut the fuck up? We're going to do a break right now.
Oh my God.
When we come back,
See, when I'm onto something, they shut me down.
when we come back, we will be discussing the you fucking asshole. It's all because of fucking chicken McNuggets. You started all this shit. All right. When we come back, we're going to be discussing Biden's pardon in the auto pen. You can continue on your rant about
Oh
Ronald
my
Reagan
God!
and whatever
Don't
else
give
the
it
fuck
any.
you want to. I know. So anyway, we're going to
You
be
can
back
bet when we come back, I'm on that.
we're going to be about. And we are back, folks. Okay, who's got music going?
Sorry.
There we go. Thank you. Are you back with us there? You want to
Yeah, I
continue on
am.
with your
Yep.
unhinged rant on Ronald Reagan, or what do you want to do here?
Yeah, no, just to finish up,
Okay. Yep.
Ronald Reagan screwed people with public pensions. I think you were one of them.
Mm,
A couple
Most
other
of us
guys here
are.
were one of them. And,
Yeah.
and Congress and you know what? The firefighters union was big in getting this resolved. I got to give them credit. And they got it resolved. I was spending $42 a month on the Mass Public Employees Retirement newsletter, and every month all I heard was, "Yep, they're going to do away with WEP. They're going to do away with WEP. They're going to do away with WEP." And you know what? They finally did away with WEP. And Congress, Richard Neal, Democrat congressman from Massachusetts, very instrumental in carrying this thing over the finish line. And Congress passed it. The House passed it. The Senate passed it. They sent that off to get signed. So, you know what?
Professor, why are you on your side?
I'm not.
Yeah, you are.
His phone dropped.
So when I'm looking at it right now,
Now you're upside down. Now you're sideways still.
He's not taking me seriously.
It's on your. Oh, okay. I get it. It's on your other right. Turn to your other right.
There you go.
There we go.
so here's the problem. My phone's the other way, so I can't see you guys.
There's a big difference between us and them.
What is the big difference between that? Yeah, exactly. Yep, there you have it. Okay. You want to move on to Biden's pardons in the auto pen? Who wants to take that? I think you had. Didn't you have some stuff on that, specialist? Because you brought it up earlier.
Oh, well, the auto pen signing.
Yeah, the auto pen signing. What do you think about that?
It is what it is. Is there some validity to it? I don't think. You got to question whether or not Biden realized that they were signing his name to these pardons.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. He wasn't there. He was anybody that was watching that had two brain cells to rub together realized that Joe Biden was gone.
He was in the Virgin Islands.
He was gone.
Right.
Yeah, exactly. No matter what.
They consulted him before he left on vacation.
All right.
But here's the thing. I've never seen a presidential pardon like when Obama and who went to Pedo Island? Who was the president that went to Pedo Island?
I think all of them.
Blowjob in the Oval Office. Who got the blowjob in the Oval Office?
Clinton.
Bill Clinton.
Oh, okay. Clinton, yeah. Anyway, all the pardons that him and Obama did were never overturned.
Okay.
I don't care how they were signed.
Okay. I'm not a fan of Joe Biden. Okay, I never will be, or any Democrat for that matter.
Neither am I. But all I'm saying is he did right by me on a subject that was.
Yeah, absolutely, he did right.
But don't worry.
That 100% with that, no driver. Let's go to the auto pen. The pardon portion. I know the specialist is the legal guy here, but from what I could see, the pardon portion of the Constitution is Article 2, Section 2, Clause 1. Which says the president has the power to grant pardons, but makes no actual mention of sign or signature. No. More than a half a dozen constitutional law experts have said there is no mention of anything mechanical. So there's nothing in Article 2, Section 2, Clause 1 saying that the signature has to be done basically by an actual human. So the popular thing to say is what Trump said. The technical legal side of it says otherwise. And all through, since Gutenberg invented a printing press back in the 1500s, you've had an equivalent of an auto pen. People used to sell Bibles with the apostles and the evangelists and the those that wrote the freaking Bible with their signatures, and it was just printed on archaic stuff. So what I'm saying is the proper thing is to say that. The technical legal side of it has to be determined by a court of law. But Article 2, Article 2, Section 2, Clause 1 says the president has the power to grant pardons. So once a pardon is granted, you can't overturn it, according to that clause. I don't know.
No, man. What law school did you go to?
I went to the John Bollocks and the Fried Chickens
You're
University.
spot on. Nothing in the Constitution says that a pardon has to even be signed.
Correct. Just uttered or given.
Just ordered. Yeah. There's no, so. It's a non-starter.
But what you're referring to is under normal circumstances, right? What you guys are talking about right now would be under normal circumstances with a president who is alert, oriented, aware of person, place, time, and events, and is competent in order to carry it out. He was not.
Correct.
That's it. So anything that was done with this auto pen is null and void. How do we even know he knew what he was doing?
Says all he's gonna do is say your pardon. It's like going to confession on Saturday.
Hang on. Let's bring it.
You're missing it.
Let's. Okay. Can I say something? Let's bring it down. Let's bring it down to consent. There's expressed, is implied, right?
Yep.
So if if expressed, you say something, even that is expressed. Implied means I'm unconscious or I haven't got my faculties, but yes, you know that I need you to do this for me. Because medication can do it. Years and years ago, there was a precedent trying to be set by the VA against people who were on sleeping meds, that they should lose their Second Amendment rights because they weren't in their full faculties. And if they had to use an actual a use of force encounter under a Castle Doctrine, that the precedent would have been that they wouldn't have been in their full faculties to make an actual informed judgment at the time of some event happening. And both Republicans and Democrats were silent on that. They let an agency decide on a constitutional matter. That's scary shit. The other thing is, with the consent, if you have an unconscious patient, okay, I mean, from law enforcement, if someone has a do not resuscitate or a DNR or advance directive, we may not know when we're treating somebody on the scene that they have that in addition. Only somebody that has knowledge under HIPAA or under something else comes in. So I know I'm going off the track a little bit, but what I'm coming to
no, you're not going off the track.
He had to be, once he was present there and he's given an order, because what happens when a president goes in for an operation, goes under anesthesia? Listen, I'm going to tell you something happened with me. I'm no fucking president. I had a federal agent at my fucking bed, and it was inside the operating room with me while I was basically going under to get my operation on my leg, because they were afraid in case I'd say something while I was under. And when I woke up, the fucker was there. I said, get your ass out of my room. So can you imagine at a presidential level?
Yeah.
Dear God.
So
leading up to what you now tailgating off what you just said. As a police officer in New Hampshire, right? I stop you for OUI. Right? You're a shitface. You can't even stand up and walk. So I give you two options. You can take a breath test, or I can take you to the hospital for a blood test. But you got to do one or the other, because in New Hampshire, we have an applied consent law. If you're operating a motor vehicle on the roads, it'll be deemed you have been given your consent to submit to either a chemical test, a breath test, or a blood test. Shitface, you can't even stand up. You can't understand what I'm saying. If you don't sign the implied consent form, you're deemed a refusal. You lose your license.
Right.
There's a perfect example. Now, Alan Dershowitz, right? He's a professor emeritus at Harvard University. He defended Trump in the impeachment. He's a constitutional law expert. We won't deny that. That's undeniable, right? He says that the auto pin issue is a non-starter, a distraction. Importantly, he says there's nothing in the Constitution, and I got a copy of the Constitution, and I read it, that says pardons have to be in writing at all.
No.
I'm not debating that with you.
The pardon fails because it was signed by an auto pen at the get-go, because there's no requirement that pardons even be signed at all.
Okay.
So I would absolutely agree with that. Okay, but so implied consent and informed consent in an EMS setting are two totally different things, right?
No, they're not.
So let me finish. They are, right? Well, what we're talking about is the leader of the free world, the guy that has the codes to the nuclear weapons. And on this very show, we talked about how Biden's cognitive decline was open and obvious, right? This man could not stand trial for the documents because he was deemed and he was elderly and he couldn't do it. Can we agree on that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So why are we going to agree that he would give pardons to all of these people if he's not in his right frame of mind to stand trial for breaking the law, the same thing that Mar-a-Lago was rated for? How can we say he absolutely did give these pardons?
So
It's got to come in a question.
you know what? Look up the Constitution online and show me in the Constitution where it says that the issue of a pardon has to have cognitive ability. It doesn't.
I just posted you a question, guys, on our own internal chat, and I'm going to say it for the audience. The State of the Union address. What happens if the designated survivor who doesn't attend the State of the Union address and they have the full power of the executive, because God forbid something happens, you got someone to take the place, right?
Yep.
So you've got so they don't have the full briefings. They may have to issue pardons. They may have to issue executive orders to the point of defending this country, all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Yeah.
So they have the same, maybe restricted ability or perspective, because they're only doing it for 2 hours. They're not doing it for 4 years. So, I mean, to the professor's point, absolutely correct. Because I tell you what, saving lives is more important than your security at the best of times, because the Hippocratic oath that you take and your public duty and your sovereign immunity and all the vicarious liability that goes with you even treating somebody, the Good Samaritan Act, and we may have in each of our states. All of that stuff comes into being. It's the equivalent of filling a sink full of water to get out the stopper, and all of a sudden it goes bloop, and that's the moment when you fucking know whether you're covered or not. People will take as long as they want to investigate you. They'll take as long as they want to determine whether you were actually lawful or within your duty or not. Did you go beyond the scope of your training, beyond the scope of your duties? Did you act reasonable? Was the objective reasonable standard actually reached? But what I'm coming to is the fact is that the public had a public's eye view of how diminished this guy was, yet we were forced upon as an electorate to consider him as being capable and competent, to the professor's point, of dealing with a country and international issues which affects everybody, not just in America, but all over the world. Because when America coughs, the world gets a cold. That's what's happened. So what happens, so to the professor's point, correct, from the technical point of view of the Article 2, Section 2, Clause 1, we're technically correct on the law. The reality is, people don't give a crap until it affects them. But if something had to happen, God forbid, that's it. Like, we're just found out today, going on a sidebar, with this JFK release of all these declassified files. That's an absolute weapon of mass distraction to what's going on right now. That's brilliant play by Trump to get people's attention away from what's going on. So every side of that oil, of the carpet, that the only thing that divides these two parties at times is just a piece of carpet between the two of them. They both play the same games, but Trump is doing it a different way that they're not expecting. So all of our judicial is the other two parts of the branch of the whole government. They're equally liable and culpable if something goes wrong, because they can only define stuff. They can't make policy. They determine the constitutionality. That's all they do. So this individual judge, these individual pardons, what happens is you've now set a precedent under Biden. So the next guy that uses an auto pen, with the exception of emergency powers during a wartime situation where you may have a presidential order and it has to be seen, the equivalent of two guys going to DEFCON 4 and they compare the cars before they put it into the thing and they push the code and off she goes and they let the big candle off and we hit fucking China. Every military, every guy that is involved with ICBMs has the same power of the president at the time of crisis. They don't have a fucking auto pen. They're going on the last lawful order.
Given over what?
A radio. It's verbal. There's nothing written down. There are contingencies.
How are launch codes given out?
Yeah, and everything is analog in that sense of the word, right? Because it's got to be EMP proof anyway. But but you're right. But what I'm saying is there's other parts of it here. The public has seen what Biden was doing. They saw he couldn't find his way off a stage. They load onto a stage. It was the equivalent
Right.
of CNN Wolf Blitzer in Desert Shield, Desert Storm, the very first modern conflict ever covered live on TV 24/7.
Yeah.
That same mother effer was under a table with another BBC journalist when there was scuds coming in, and I'm going, this is the Situation Room. Look at him. He's like a puppy, pissing himself in the corner. So everybody saw it. Everybody saw how terrifying it was. It showed American might and power. The thing was over in a fucking week, right? But what I'm saying is that the public saw what was going on. Biden exposed the whole, the fucking, the Wizard of Oz, the guy, the genie behind the curtain. He's fucking smaller than me, standing on a stool, pulling levers and pushing buttons. Same thing with Biden. That's what's come out of the auto pen. That's all.
So, if I was to have to defend Joe Biden on this thing, who do you think the first witness I'd call?
No idea.
Kamala Harris.
Hmm.
And
His
what do you
doctor,
think? What do you
the chief
think
medical officer.
What do you think is the first question I'd ask her?
Are we unburdened by what has been?
No. Why didn't you invoke the 25th Amendment?
There you go. When he goes into, yes, this declassification files of JFK, that 25th Amendment, when it was invoked by John, that whole thing is going to show. That is giving. This is coming 60 years on now. Six decades ago, we had this situation.
What did everybody see on TV on January 20th? Trump and Vance waving goodbye to the Bidens. No 25th Amendment was ever invoked.
No.
My point. That's all I'm saying.
No, I don't get what you're saying. Are you saying it should have been or it shouldn't have been? Are you saying?
I'm just saying the pardons and the auto pen are non-starter.
Yeah. Okay, listen, guys, we're kind of running over here. We're gonna be on a time crunch.
That's all.
7 minutes.
We're gonna be on a time crunch here. We kind of lost control of this.
If we gotta go over, we gotta go over. Anybody else got? I'm done with what I gotta say about it.
Okay. All right. No, we're do your training segment next, specialist.
You just threw me a curveball. I thought I'd have a 5-minute break.
You don't have any. We're out of time. We've been running off on this tangent for the last 20 minutes. So
I was expecting something else.
yeah.
I'm gonna do the training segment. This is all legitimate. You guys can laugh at me, do what you want.
I don't know what he's doing. So it's a surprise to me.
I gotta pull it up. I had it all written out. Give me
Smoke
a
if you
second.
have them and talk among your friends. Here we go. Come on.
So I want to talk to you guys about, and this is very real. I spoke to my doctor about it, and she agreed with me. I want to talk to you about your NADs. Your NADs, my NADs.
The nomads.
The
NADs.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
So for the last year and a half,
There it is.
I've been going commando. I haven't been wearing underwear because
That's it. We're YouTube has us gone now. We're done.
Cotton, no, really. This is legitimate stuff. You can look it up. Cotton contains a lot of chemicals that are not good for you and take away from your testosterone, and you get diseases and everything else, you know? And so they have an underwear out there, and it's appropriately named NADs. And you can wear them engaging in underwater activities. You can swim with them. You can dive. You can wear them as shorts. You can wear them as underwear and everything else. There's no sensitivity to skin. And they're eco-friendly and they're safe. In conclusion, you're incorporating quality personal care products into your routine and it enhances your life.
Can we
you-
invoke the 25th Amendment on the specialist?
Anyway, if you care about your nads, go online and buy the nads underwear.
That's it. That's all. That's all you have to say about that.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, it's about your
Well,
health. But
okay.
you're laughing at me and you're saying you're going to invoke the 25th Amendment. What do you want me to do?
No, that's actually pretty entertaining.
Is it like Nat?
actually.
Is it Nat like Nads.com? Well, what is it?
NADS, yeah. Just
NADS.
You're not
Google
sending me.
nads
You're not
underwear.
sending me to a bad site, then, right?
No, not at all.
Are
The
they
Fed's not going to
available?
knock on my door after I'm just trying to buy a pair of underwear online.
No. And if you really want to talk about something else, so a guy I used to work with was big into this stuff called
Hang on a sec, specialist. Is he an attorney? So would it be a legal brief?
Oh, that was good.
It depends on if it's boxers or not. I think
you can get any type
True
you
that.
want.
Can you boxers? Okay, it's
Okay.
answer that question. Oh,
So
Anyway.
there's a product out there, and a guy I worked with, it's called Techno Blue. It's basically a gene dye, and you put it in your water, but it has a whole bunch of properties that are good for your cells and everything else.
Okay.
And people think you're a whack job. There's a video of RFK on a plane putting gene dye in his drink, and somebody goes, "Hey, what's that blue stuff he's putting in his drink?" But I knew right when I saw the video what it was, because the guy I worked with turned me on to this stuff, and I use it. I mean,
Do you feel better? Do you feel better? Do you feel better when you take it consistently?
I do. In fact, my therapist today wasn't even paying attention to my chart. We got talking about different things, and she goes, she told me I was in good shape. I goes, yeah, I'm 69 going on 70. She goes, you don't look a day over 50. So I get the ailments, but I rest my case.
okay.
I take
Good job.
supplements every day.
Perfect.
Good job. Good
Um,
job.
All right.
And I just started wearing underwear again.
All right. Yeah. Cool.
The world is
Well,
safe.
The world is safe from everybody feels much better now about that. Do you guys want to do the X lightning round or not tonight? What do you guys want?
Yeah.
To do?
Absolutely.
Go on.
Absolutely.
Let's do it, yeah. We need something from that.
We need something from that. Okay, let me see what I can find here. We have
Good
a
job,
couple
Lenny.
things. Before I do that, though, I have I want to give you guys a preview of upcoming attractions here. We talked about it a little bit. The specialist and I have. We've had some former police officers that are doing an investigation into predators, online dating, and narcissistic behavior in that environment. There are a couple of female police officers, and this is going to be an upcoming show here in the future. So they asked, this is just going to be a little preview of these two female police officers here have been digging around in the world of online dating. It's ugly. And it's going to be a good show that we've been working on here. I think we're probably going to devote an entire show just to that.
Anytime
So that's going to
you
be,
get into something like that, it's ugly and it's dangerous.
it really is. So, these young ladies have been doing an excellent job on this, and it's going to be coming up here in the future. We're kind of working out the
Good.
details now and getting the scripts going, but it should be a really interesting show once I get. Okay, so that's all I got for that. So let's go back to the Twitterverse here and see what we can find. Oh, for fuck's sake, where is it? There it is. Okay. All right. Everybody ready for the lightning round? Oh my God. Okay. Okay. This is a pretty good one. we're going to have a visual here.
Oh,
All
boy.
right. This is from Tara Bull. The first thing that comes to mind when you see this specialist.
I don't even see what I don't even know what I'm looking at.
Is that better?
Something's
Is that better?
blocking me. Hang on.
What?
The private chat box is blocking the screen.
Delete it. Just delete it. Just push it down.
Yeah.
There you
All
go.
right, go ahead.
All right. Let me try it. Nope. Try this again. How's that?
What comes to mind? That is the
Just one word.
39-year-old that's getting Social Security and shouldn't be.
Okay. Professor.
Where are the parents?
Nomad.
Home Depot.
Metal detector is mine. Okay, Home Depot. Yeah, exactly. Staples. All right. Let's see what else we got here. I don't need that. We don't need that. Don't need that. That's all bullshit. Who's that? Okay. Who was that? Oh, what? I don't even know what this is. Just it's from some guy named John, and it's Chuck Schumer doing something. I don't know. Specialist.
Looks like he's sucking a dick.
I
Oh
know.
my.
Professor.
Karaoke.
Nomad.
I've got nothing.
Okay, I'm gonna do My Little Pony. 'Cause it's multicolored and it's kind of whatever. Okay.
Are we still on YouTube?
Yeah,
Do you smell-
I think so.
Do
Go
you smell
ahead,
something
buddy.
burning? Do you smell something burning?
I'm gonna put my glasses on
That's
for
my
this one because I
brain.
got to read it. Okay, okay. Open source intel. U.S. Representative Nadler. I am deeply disturbed by Prime Minister Netanyahu's decision to abandon the ceasefire agreement, return to war, and welcome somebody back into the government as Minister of National Security. The choice puts the safety of all the remaining hostages, including American ones, at grave risk, so forth and so on. There is a visual aid in this, if I can. Oops. Oh well. Shit. Where'd it go? If I can get back, maybe I can't even get back to it here. Never mind. I think I'm going to have to pass on that one. I don't know what the hell happened to Jerry Nadler.
So, listen,
Go ahead. Yeah, let's talk about that for a minute while I'm trying to
But
figure
Jerry
this out.
Nadler has won the fucking
Here.
Coney Island hot dog eating contest for fucking 40 years in a row. He's
Yeah.
not one to talk.
Do you know? Who he reminds me of the Penguin from Batman.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Danny
Yes.
DeVito, yeah.
Yeah.
Burgess
That-
Meredith. Burgess Meredith, the original Batman.
Yeah.
Yep. Better if you paint him blue, he would be an Oompa Loompa.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We talked about Cybertrucks earlier. This is from Right Angle News Network. Breaking: a man from Indianapolis smears his own fecal matter onto a Cybertruck. This is the state of the Democrats. Here you go. There's a little video that goes along with that. Digging shit out of his ass and smearing it on a Cybertruck. Oh, Democrats, aren't you proud of yourselves?
The party of tolerance.
Exactly. Specialist.
Hang on, I'm trying to pull up the photo that I have to go with that right here.
Oof.
Nomad.
Indianapolis, right?
Yeah. Do you have a
Charmin.
There
That's
you go,
right.
right there.
Charmin.
Charmin, yeah. Okay, I think that's probably going to
Pete
be
Buttigieg. All I know about transportation is I've been rear-ended quite a few times. Indianapolis.
All right. I think we've covered all about the
So long,
lightning
YouTube.
round. That yeah, exactly. It's been nice knowing you guys. Better luck
Hey
next
guys,
time
don't
on
go
our
anywhere.
better luck next time on our next platform. I have no idea where it's going to be, but it's probably going to be involving
SpaceX.
SpaceX. Yeah, it's going to be involving 2 tin cans of string, I think.
Hey,
most
we're
likely.
gonna be the 4 that get to go to Mars.
whether we want to or not. All right. Well, I
Might
guess
have to move this
that's,
to Rumble.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
possible.
I'm
That's
all
actually
for that.
possible. Yeah.
Well, if you give the specialist another 5 minutes, we'll be gone from YouTube.
Yep. We shall see.
He's on fire tonight. man.
Annie
He's on
said,
fire.
"Good show, guys." Annie, I love you, baby.
I know she's always supportive.
She's a rock
no matter
star.
what.
She's
Yeah,
a rock
yeah,
star.
without a doubt.
Good job.
All right, fellas. Well, that's kind of it. We're a little over time, but we kind of got everything out of the way here. So, specialist, you want to say our good nights?
Good night.
Professor. Yeah, that's it. Starts with bouncing chicken McNuggets, comparing them to AOC's boobs.
Oh man.
Good night.
There may be a tribute to the Democrats coming sometime soon to either the specialist or myself. Maybe one of two people, but we'll just put that out there for now. So proper planning prevents poor performance. Get some training. The email link is down there, and thank you for joining us. Appreciate it. God bless America. God bless Israel.
Yes, sir. Nomad.
if you're a man and you've cut off your pecker, you're still a man who's cut off his pecker.
More truer words have never been spoken.
John Wayne.
Oh,
John Wayne
yep,
said
John
it.
Wayne. Yep. Good Duke. I'm not surprised. All right, folks, we completely lost control of the show this evening. I don't know what the hell happened, but it may or may not be our last show. We may or may not be back next week. I guess we'll just gotta have to wait to see. Or we may or may not be on another completely different platform from another planet. But as always, we try to educate and entertain. I'm not sure. I guess we did that tonight, but I was pretty entertained. We were all laughing and shit. And we're all still alive. So give the ones you love a big hug. Keep them safe. Be prepared to self-rescue and all that stuff. And hopefully we'll see you next week, folks. So we're going to go ahead and check out here. So good night,
Peace out.
everybody. And
Bye, YouTube.